has been a little while. So I didn't go live last week. I didn't record anything last week because I was getting back into the groove of being a music producer again. So let's talk about that for a quick second, and then we'll get into what we've been talking about. Bloom, 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 bloom. Yeah, I love that. I love that joint. How you guys doing this evening? Welcome to Conversations with Terrence, coming to you live from my beautiful edifice. This place is wonderful. I haven't been down here in a minute. But I am here now. So I started this off about talking about last week, right? I had every intention on, being available and doing this, and then I was just like, I had some other stuff that came up, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna take a few minutes, then I'm gonna go ahead and pre-record, right? Nah, I had a doctor's appointment. Then that led into the other stuff that I needed to do for the rest of the evening. So we're going to get into that just quick, and then we'll talk about what we were talking about here, what we're supposed to be talking about tonight. So the last conversation that we had, we were talking about like doing the things that we want to do that makes us happy again and everything, and things that I was talking about that I want to get back to. And I audibly said, I want to get back into being an actual music producer that has placements, right? I had placements once before. I had placements a few times before. And I said, you know what? That's when I was at my happiest. That's when I was making the most money, all that other stuff. And I was just like, you know what? I want to get back to that place because that's my happy place, man. Just doing music like that. So because I spoke it out of my mouth, I got a call. And they just I kept sending them a voicemail because I was like, yo, I'm not talking to nobody right now. Like, it's late. Like, I'm not talking to nobody right now. But then, thank you, Meek, thank you. I was like, I'm not talking to nobody right now. And then I was just like, you know what? The next time they picked up, I was like, let me just pick this up, man. Picked it up. Had a call on the other end. It was like, hey, listen, I need you. Like, what's going on? Like, what you need me for? it's like I got this crazy opportunity on the table, and like you're the person that I thought of that can like really make this move and all this other stuff. So I'm not gonna say exactly what it was or anything like that, but it was for a major artist, and then we got into the studio, and we started. We started, the process of producing records for this major artist, right? And and it was so funny that I spoke the week before that, you know what, I'm about to pull on some connects, and I'm gonna get right back into producing music again. I didn't even get a chance to reach out to anybody before I got a call. So it's all about speaking, y'all. Speak exactly what it is that you want. I used to speak all the time of the things that I wanted to do, the things that I am doing. I used to speak it all the time. But when I stopped speaking, that's when things stopped happening for me, right? So I learned a valuable lesson in that is continue to speak. Keep speaking, right? Keep speaking, because the moment you stop speaking, things will stop happening. Life and death. You have the power. The power of life and death is in your tongue, and life and death doesn't necessarily mean um, like literally leaving. It doesn't necessarily living. I'm sorry. It doesn't necessarily mean literally living. It doesn't necessarily mean literally dying, because you could still be walking around here, breathing, talking, greeting people, but you can still be dead inside. So your words are very, very powerful, because I've been dead. I was dead inside for a minute. You see me walking around. I'm still executing. I'm still doing things. I'm still showing up for people. Still working at a high level, but I was dead inside. Yeah, you're right, me. Still keep speaking and believe it. Me, can you do me a favor? Can you share this real quick? Um, like, keep speaking and believe it. Yeah. And then the crazy part about it is, like, I stopped speaking, and it came to full fruition when I decided to speak again. I decided to, like, you know what, this is what we doing. We gonna talk about this again, right? And the moment I spoke it, it wasn't even 7 days later where I got a call to do the exact same thing that I spoke, right? So we've been on this journey of unlearning, right? So we've got all of this out of our system. We spoke about all of these things. Now, where we at? Now it's time to execute. We done enough talking about, where we've been, how we've been, what we found out about ourselves. We're at the point of now what? Now what? What do we do? What do we do from here, right? What are we going to do from this moment on that we're here now talking about, you know what? I've discovered this about myself. Like, for me, I discovered my social anxieties. I've discovered, like, my abandonment issues and all of that other stuff. Okay, so after that, then what? All right, so we know what the issue is. Now let's execute. Let's go ahead and execute and do the things that are completely opposite of the things that we just learned about ourselves. Let's go into a whole different. Yeah, I'm about to share it myself too. I just got to find it real quick. And hold on, not this. Okay, here we go. I'm live right here. Oh, give me a quick second, y'all. I'm not that savvy with this. Alrighty, so here we go. And we're gonna go ahead and how do I? Okay, here we go. Got it. Boom. Sorry, y'all. Yeah, I'm about to be 45, so that's still no excuse. That's still no excuse. Because, 45 ain't old. Got these new glasses, though. That's definitely, showing my age. All right. So I did that. I shared it. We good to go from here. I don't need to look at that anymore. So now we're at the point where we figured out all of this stuff. Now let's execute. Let's go in the opposite direction of all of these things that we are finding out about ourselves. I'm antisocial, right? And I've decided to learn how to come out of that shell. And thankfully, I have coworkers that became family that don't mind showing me a whole different way. And then for me, it's like I am committed to, like, learning a different way. And it's been pretty cool. I've gone out with them a couple of times, and I'm actually excited to go somewhere else and do something else, and that's outside of my comfort zone, because you don't grow, like I always say, you don't grow if you stay in a place of comfort, right? So that's where we're going now, man. So after we, like I said before, after we figured out all of the things that are quote unquote wrong with us, which nothing is actually wrong with us, because that's just the thought process that we have, that if we are not moving in the direction or doing things that other people do, that there's something quote unquote wrong with us. We're our own individual people. And I had to learn that too, that we are all individuals. There's nothing quote unquote wrong with you because you're not doing things or responding in ways that I would respond, or you're not doing things that I think somebody of your age or your caliber or whatever should be doing. No, no, no. Everybody's on their own journey. Everybody's an individual. Everybody's gonna have to do things like their way. And I've learned to be okay with people being exactly who they are, because that's what the whole platform is about: being exactly who they are and responding in ways that they should that makes them who they are, right? But we're committed to growing in life, right? So growing is going to require us some growing pains and some being uncomfortable. There's some things that are going to be extremely uncomfortable for you. So like being around people is still a little uncomfortable, but I'm finding like that happiness within that discomfort, that feeling like I belong, which is cool. I'm starting to feel like I belong a little more, which is awesome. That's something that I never really felt before. I never really felt that I belonged anywhere before. And I'm starting to feel that feeling because I'm allowing myself that space to grow. I never gave myself that space to grow in that particular area because I was always like, on level 10, because it's like, I don't know about people. I don't know about people. It doesn't matter if you know about people or not. Like, you will never grow. You will never get to a certain place if you do not allow yourself that space to grow, right? So what are we doing from this time? Like, I said that I wanted to become a pilot, right? So I met this gentleman one day. He was like, we were talking, and he was like, I think he was a motivational speaker or something. The way he was kicking it with me, I thought he was a motivational speaker, something like that. So then he was like, we were talking. And I said to him, I said, man, my goal with Delta is like to become a pilot. Like, that's what I really, really want to do. I really want to become a pilot. And then he said to me, yeah, get this. This is funny. He said to me, so do you have a flight simulator? I said, nah, I don't have a flight simulator. Well, did you do your discovery flight? Nah, I didn't do that. Did you read any books on flying? Nah, I didn't do that. And then he said to me, then you don't want to become a pilot. I said, what you mean? What you mean? And he said, because you haven't executed the smallest steps yet. You haven't taken the first step. You just saying, I want to do this. I want to do that. But if you really, really wanted to get it done, you would execute at least one of the steps, right? And he said that to me like a year and some change ago, right? And that came back to my memory not too long ago. So I started following this Delta pilot, this female pilot, on social media. And then she was like, and like I get super like amped when I see black pilots come through the airport, and I deal with black pilots, especially like black female pilots. Like, I get super amped when I see that, and then that's like, oh my God, it's what's the word for it? It excites me, and it just motivates me. That's motivate. How do I not know to say motivate? That's crazy. Like, it motivates me so much, right? I'll be like, yeah, this is so dope. I feel so proud, like I know him, right? And then so there's one lady that I follow, and I see her in the airport all the time. But since I've been following her on social media, I haven't seen her. So I can't wait to see her and just tell her how much that she's been inspiring me, right? So she mentioned a book. She mentioned the book on one of her posts. She's like, people are asking me like, what are the first steps, or what's a good book to read? And then she mentioned the book. And I've been, let's park real quick. I've been in my bag lately, right? I've read about 4 books within the last week and a half, y'all. Well, listen to 4 books. I don't have the time to just sit there and just like, that's leaning forward. Why is that? Give me a second, y'all. Notice something. There we go. Sorry. Just noticed that my hair light was leaning forward. I don't know why it was doing that. Huh. That was interesting. See, now the color changed a little bit. That's good. All right. So anyway, So she mentioned so I've been listening to like books on Audible. So I finished like 4 books, and now I'm doing this book about aviation, and I feel charged because it's like I feel like I'm taking the very first step into the direction of what I want to do. I am now executing the first few steps of becoming something that I want to become. So, like going through this journey of unlearning that we've been going through, and we've talked about all of this. Now we move into a place of execution. We are executing all of the things that we want to do with the rest of our lives, right? So right now, what do we want to do with the rest of our lives? And I'm not going to be on long at all because it's late, and it's a little chilly down here. I don't have any HVAC down here in the edifice, so I need to fix that within the next couple of weeks, though. So what this next phase of where we are with these conversations is what's next. Okay, now we're gonna identify what's next. So for me, I am audibly saying that my next is producing music and following the steps of becoming a pilot. These are my next steps. This is where I'm going. And now identifying that, now we have to identify the steps to take in executing what it is that we want to do. So now, I've been doing music for years, so I already know the steps of that, which is fine. It's just a matter of doing. At this point, it's a matter of doing. And I've already started that process of doing. I spent, and another thing, I'm getting a little older, y'all, and I'm recognizing that I cannot stay up as late as I used to. I can't stay up as late as I used to, because I was getting tired in that session. Man, my eyes was getting like low. And I was like, yeah. My eyes were getting low, and I was like, bruh, yeah, I'm getting a little older, man. But there's a couple of factors that was in me with that too. But I'll just chalk it up to me being a little older. You said, I love it, and everything you say will follow your command. That's right. Everything you say will follow your command. So I am going to continue with producing music. I am now on the first few steps of becoming a pilot. I'm learning about flying. I'm learning about the science behind flying. I'm learning about the machines, the flying machines. I'm learning about all of this. I'm learning about how airplanes work. Because when I go to sit down for my first class, I actually have the information already. It's not going to be brand new to me. I'm already going to have this information. Then now it's about using it and being practical. And I've decided to go to school. And it's funny, I've been toying with the idea for a while to go to school, because most people don't know. Right out of high school, I just started my profession, so I never went to college, right? And it's a huge press for me now to go to college and really get a degree. And there are so many things that I'm good at, but I'm trying to figure out what is the thing that I'm really good at that I will not get bored sitting in the class for. Because I hated school. The school was terrible for me, right? Because I don't have a serious attention span, right? So it's got to be something that I am super interested in that I will sit through 4 years of. And obviously aviation is that, but it ain't going to take me that long to get my pilot's license, my private pilot's license. It's not going to take me that long to do it. It's not going to take me long. It's not going to take me 4 years to do that. It's not going to take me, but I'm talking about going to school for something else outside of becoming, like, getting my private pilot's license and stuff like that. But I do feel the press to engage in that and to put that notch under my belt. And for other people, that's like, yeah, that ain't nothing. I could do that in my sleep and all that other stuff. That's fine. But for me, that is a big deal for me to even say those words that, you know what, I'm ready to go to school. To say those words, I'm ready to go to school because I hate school. I hate school. I do not want to sit in nobody's class. and even with online, I don't like that either. I be sitting there like I got something better to do than this. But knowing what that goal is at the end for me is what's giving me the motivation to do and to go. And because now guys, we have to we're going to talk about discipline real quick, right? Because discipline is really huge when you are executing your goals, and not just discipline is sitting down doing schoolwork or sitting down doing whatever it is. Like, you got to be disciplined even with your body, because discipline is well rounded. So I've let myself get so far out of shape and all this extra stuff. I let myself look crazy, all of that. Change your language from I hate school to I enjoy learning. You're right, Meek. I enjoy learning because I actually, you know what's funny? I love to learn. I love to learn. I really love to learn. It's just sitting in the class that bothers me, or sitting in front of a computer that bothers me. I love to learn. I enjoy learning. So I have to change my language and my thought process of sitting in school or sitting at the computer, because now I got to do a paper or I got to take a test or any. And the crazy part about it is I'm excellent at taking tests. I don't really have to like really study the material to pass a test, because a lot of things are just common sense to me. And I end up like acing tests all the time. Like this is that I'm really a natural good test taker. So I have to look at this from a different lens of, instead of, like Meek is right, instead of saying I hate school, I enjoy learning. So if I go sit in a class, you know what? This hard desk, I enjoy learning. I enjoy learning. And just reminding myself of what the end goal is. Yeah, and being super disciplined in that, right? And like I was talking before about what discipline looks like, right? Like for me, I like I said, I let myself get out of shape, right? And man, I wish I would have thought about this earlier. I would have put up a picture of what I look like when I was like in the gym losing weight and gaining muscle and all that other stuff. I was extremely focused at that time in my life. It wasn't even about the losing weight for me. It was about the level of discipline that I had. That level of discipline carried over to every facet of my life. Every area of my life. That gym discipline carried over. And so now, like, even with me executing certain things, like me like researching getting into schools or going through this whole pilot thing and back to the music and all this other stuff, it's going to require me personally to put myself in the gym, because when I think about the time in my life that I was making huge strides and huge changes in my life, is when I was in the gym. When I was in the gym, it created that level of discipline that I had, that there was nothing that I couldn't execute. So for me, during this journey, it requires me to go into the gym, right? And of course, my body's going to look better. I'm going to feel better, and all of that other stuff. But it's not about the way things look for me. It's about the level of discipline that I will have to finish every single goal and accomplish every single goal that I have for me. So whatever it is that will represent discipline for you, whatever that thing is, add that in, even if it has nothing to do with what your goal is. If it doesn't, think about a time in your life where you were extremely disciplined. What were you doing at that time that made you that militant? And when I say militant, I don't mean like in a crazy way. What I mean is like made you like just super laser beam focused. What is that thing that you were doing at that time? It doesn't have to have anything to do with what your new goals and your new visions and your new aspirations is. But I will tell you, add that thing in, because then that discipline and focus that you have for that thing is going to spill over to your new thing. So, like, I jumping back into the gym, being straight focused. I'm actually about to get on the computer now and order my bike because I enjoy riding my bike, right? So when I was living in Georgia before, there was a trail called Silver Comet Trail, and I would take my bike and ride about like 4 miles a day, like 2 miles up the road and 2 miles back, boom, boom, boom. Once I moved back up north, I didn't do it anymore. But now that I'm back here, I've been back here for a while, so I should have been doing it. So I should have been doing it. So I'm going to add that regimen because, like, guys, I'm going to be super honest with y'all. I do not like doing cardio in the gym because I like the scenery to change. In the gym, I'm just looking at the same thing. Everything looks like I'm literally, mentally, I know I'm not going anywhere. So for me, being outside helps me with cardio, so I can just like, this makes this go by much faster. It stimulates my mind a little better because now I'm seeing different things. Like, so that's for me. So getting my bike is going to help me with that, the cardio piece. I can go to the gym and lift weights and stuff like that. That's fine. And I actually enjoy that part of it. But getting into that regimen of executing and the discipline is going to get us to our goals, and we will start enjoying the journey of getting to our goals and the journey of execution. There we go. That's what it's going to be. This next phase is going to be called the journey to execution. Yes, we're going to execute, guys, this journey, because it's not like you're not going to automatically hit your goal tomorrow. That's not going to happen, right? That's not going to happen. But there is a journey to executing your goals, step-by-step processes. And then, like, I implore you to literally start logging the things that you are doing to get to your goal. With every goal, there are steps. There are small steps to get to the bigger picture. Write those steps down. And even if you don't know all of the steps that it takes to get to your goal, man, this thing is fantastic. This thing in your hand, amazing. You can literally research everything that it takes in order for you to get to where you need to go. Write down these steps. And if the steps seem way too outlandish, break those steps down into smaller steps, so you'll be able to execute what you're doing. So right now, I'm at the infancy stages of flying, which is learning what flying is all about. This is going to take a long time because this book is 21 hours. But I'll tell you, I'm already 5 hours through the book. So this is amazing. And I'm retaining a lot of the information. Of course, I've forgotten a whole bunch of stuff by now, but if I see it again, it's going to come back to me because this is something that I really, really enjoy doing. Okay, so where are we? Let's do a quick recap, y'all. So from the last time I came live, I spoke a couple of things that literally came to fruition the very next week. So we learned that speaking, if you speak it, it will happen. But the moment that you stop speaking, things will not happen. You got to speak it and believe it, just like Meek said. Speak it and believe it. And everything you say is going to follow your command. Like everything you speak it is going to happen. You believe it, go through there. So now we're going to break down these little steps to execute, because now we are beyond the journey of unlearning. Now we are on the journey of execution. We're going to execute these things that okay, we're going to go do the opposite of the things that we discovered about ourselves. Now we're in the process of changing certain things because we want to, not because society wants us to. We want to change certain things. So now we're on this little journey of execution, step by steps. Let's write down these little steps. Let's execute these steps together and just keep it pushing, man, because I'm all about like progression, man, and I'm sure that you guys are on the road for progression as well. And I'm excited to be on this journey. I'm sorry that I'm late, but got things that I'm trying to take care of right now. But I'm also trying to be true to me in this hour. And me sitting here doing this is being true to myself, and it's keeping a promise to myself. And yeah, that's where we are. That's where we're going. So you have given me 30 minutes. I didn't realize this was 30 minutes. I thought I was at 15. I just looked at the clock. Wonderful. Wunderbar. All right, you have given me 30 minutes of your time. I dare not bastardize your time. Time is the number one investment that you will never get a return on, and I thank you for your time. I thank you for your patience with me as we've been on this journey. Now we're on a brand new journey of execution, guys. The journey of execution. That's where we are now. All right? We're going to execute some things. We're going to take our time, and we're going to become amazing. We're going to become great in what amazing and great looks like to us, not to everybody else. We're going to be everything that we want to be and how we want to be it, when we want to be it, and who we want to be at this point. And, man, let's go ahead. Let's execute it together. Okay, so next week, we're going to rock it out next week, guys. 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm looking in advance. I will not schedule anything for that time next week. So I will definitely be on 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Bring a friend. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Let's have some real conversations. We can get into some super deep conversations next week about how we will execute certain things, what it looks like. And if you're catching this replay, let's go ahead and let's have a discussion next week together live. Let's talk about your first steps of whatever it is that you're trying to execute. So you guys have a good night. Again, time is the number one investment that you will never get a return on. And thank you so much. I will see you next week, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesdays. Good night.